When it goes this sound, I'm going backwards. When it's going this, I'm going forward.
Hey guys, welcome back to Alternative Smallholding. It's Monday. It is really warm and really sunny and absolutely glorious. Rue has brought her bike over because the basket on it needs breaking. No, it's already broke. It needs fixing. And I have some cable ties here somewhere. Cable ties. Fix virtually anything. Let's get this done and get on with other stuff.
And that bit.
Fixed. It would be rude to interrupt, yes. She spotted a plot neighbour that we haven't seen for ages way down the bottom of the plot. So we'll go and say hello in a minute, okay? Yeah. Right, we potted on most of the tomatoes in here on Saturday. So most of them are now in these bigger pots. There's a few in small pots still. These ones don't look too distressed. The ones that are left in the small pots, they look okay, to be honest. So I'm going to leave them in there. Nighttime figures are going up, and next week they're going to be double figures, hopefully. Let's open this. So that means soon they can go outside. Right, so these are my cabbages. No, not cabbages, these are my cauliflowers. So these need planting. And I want to get my broccoli raab in today too. And I could put my red cabbages in, but I'm going to leave them a few days. The sprouts are coming on nicely. And everything looks good outside. These are a bit smaller. These are my Egyptian Crosby beetroot compared to the Chigoa, which are planted at the same time. But these are a very old variety, just probably not as robust as normal. Okay, and these are Rue's Romanescos that we potted on, and on the end here are some purple Sicily cauliflower. I think we've got 4. So not loads, but it's okay to just try them. So let's get these over to where the brassica bed's going to be and start planting. Right, so pigeon ruckus again. So before I get these planted, I am going to just rake over this soil and make sure that the manure that was in there is well distributed. And I'm going to put in these, and these using square foot gardening principles, which is that one brassica plant, which are your sprouts, kale, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflowers, and kalettes, all that kind of thing, one plant per square foot. So from this end of the bed across right down to the bottom, it's 5 foot by 23 foot, which is 115 square feet for this one bed, which gives us roughly 115 brassicas, which sounds excessive, but it's not for us at all. So we are intent on growing more of what we need this year. If you remember, that was one of our goals. So we do eat a lot of brassicas, and I really begrudge buying them. So we will be having a lot of different varieties, and we'll be growing much more of the ones that we like, such as Romanesco. We've got, I think, 20 plants of those going in. And we're giving broccoli raab a try for the first time. There's only 6 of these, but they grow really fast, so I'll be doing a succession sowing of them probably today when I get home. I need to find some new sticks because these ends of the tunnel, a couple of them have rotted off. So I'm going to find some new sticks, and the thought is I'm actually putting the tunnel up first because then I can see what area is covered by the tunnel, because I need to net it from the pigeons. But I'm quite pleased to see that the tunnel as quite a low one does actually fit from one side of the bed to the other. And then as the brassicas grow and get taller, we will add a second tunnel, so there'll be 2 rows of tunnels that go down that bed. Got bamboo cane, it's an old one, so I'm going to cut that up and use that for the canes for the tunnel. And I've got my blue shade netting. Some people have asked me where I get this from. I've never actually brought it myself, but if you want it, you can either go to, say, a scaffolding place. It's actually scaffold debris netting, and they sometimes give it you for free because they can't reuse it once it's been on a big job, or you can find it on the popular auction site online, or Amazon as well. I'll put a link to some on Amazon for you below if you want to do that. And just to be clear, we are part of the Amazon affiliate program, so if you buy anything using any of the links in our descriptions, then we earn a few pennies from it, but it costs you no extra. So if you want to support the channel, then that's a lovely little way of doing it by using those links. You don't have to buy like the item that is listed, you can buy anything. So go through to Amazon from that link and we'll earn a few pennies from it, and then we put that money directly back into the channel, which is fantastic. So thank you. It's really nice to get these brassicas out into the ground. It is a little bit odd though, planting sprouts in the next few weeks that are essentially for our Christmas dinner, which is, you know, summer's not even here yet, and we're only just starting to get warm enough to be able to plant things outside, but we're growing things for the middle of winter. But we have to think about that hungry gap, and it's nice to plan ahead. And we'll be doing some succession sowings too of our cauliflowers and broccolis, so it'll keep us going over that hungry gap. It may only be greens, it's not going to be our fresh salads, but it's going to be so lovely in the middle of winter to be able to come and pick some fresh produce. Got the tunnel construction done, but before I plant these brassicas, I want to show you something in regards to seed saving. Just come down here. Okay, so this is my white icicle radish, and this has been purposefully planted with the intention of saving these seed heads. So this will run to seed and then I will save the seeds from it. But did you know that radishes are part of the Brassica family? So they are related to your cabbages, your cauliflowers, your collard greens and all of that kind. So next to them here, I have some cabbages that are in flower. Now my intention was to leave these as long as I needed to leave them for the bees, and then I'll take the leaves home and the girls can have them. Now if I left this radish to flower, and I left the brassica and the cabbage flowers flowering too, then they can actually cross-pollinate. Now they probably won't create some kind of weird radish cabbage hybrid, but they won't be true. So what I'm going to do now is these flowers are going to open any day. So today I am going to take out the rest of these brassicas at the end of the day, and then I am going to take them home and give them to the girls. There are lots of other flowers out now, thankfully, so the bees don't need them as much as before. But I do feel bad about it, but you know, saving seed. If you're saving something, research what family it's from and what group of plants it's by, and make sure that they don't cross-pollinate. I will show you over the season what I'm doing in terms of planting things specifically to save seed, and I will also show you how I'm saving seed. So now I've told you about saving radish seeds, let's get back to planting some cauliflowers and broccoli raab. So here I have placed the pots out so I can see where everything is going. I've put the broccoli raab on the edge because they are going into florets now, so we're picking them soon. So when you're planting, think about, are you going to need to reach in to pick that thing often? Like kale, we pick that repeatedly, so put that somewhere where you can access it. Whereas something like a cauliflower or Romanesco broccoli like Calbrese, you only need to get to that essentially once to cut that head off, so you can put that somewhere more in the middle of a bed maybe, that you don't need to get into all the time. Whilst we're talking about planting brassicas, we have to talk about the process of liming the soil. Now, I think it's kind of become one of those accepted things that you plant brassicas, you grow brassicas, therefore you add lime to the soil. Now, what lime does is it brings down the acidity of the soil. But is it actually always necessary? So what I've done is I've done a little research. Now, I haven't actually tested the pH of my soil. I know that some people do. I haven't done it. And to be honest, I've only ever done that once, and that was like 15 years ago. Never done it again. But what weeds that actually grow in your soil can be a good indication of whether your soil is too acid or alkaline. Now, in terms of acid soil, which would need to be limed to grow your brassicas, weeds such as nettles and sorrel and creeping buttercup and mare's tail, they all really like acid soil. So if they have been growing happily and thriving away where you want to plant your brassicas, then it's probably a good indication that you do need to lower the acidity of that soil by using garden lime. Whereas I don't have any of those here, so I'm not going to lime the soil. Whereas I know that liming the soil doesn't actually do anything bad for your garden, but I want to garden as organically as possible, and I know lime is organic, but I want to do it without actually interfering with the general process as much as possible. So I won't be adding lime this year, and it's going to be the first year that I haven't added it, so it is an experiment. So fingers crossed, because it's also the year that I'm doing all the brassicas. But I'm doing all the things, aren't I? Grow all the things. It's definitely our motto. When you're planting brassicas, very much the same as tomatoes, you can plant them deeper. So if you have a really long-legged plant, you can actually plant them a bit higher up. On something like a cauliflower, for instance, this has got a stem in the pot, and then it's a little way up before the leaves start. So you plant it down to there and then firm it in. You won't do it any harm. They will actually form more roots along this stem, and it'll actually make it a healthier plant. Healthier plant? Healthier plant. So that's going in, and it's going a little bit below the soil level. Firm it round. Now brassicas need firm soil, so don't be afraid to really press that down and make sure it's really in firm. Just remembered I have a little cut on my little finger, so I'm actually going to be sensible today and wear some gloves. These blue nettings will give the plants a little bit of shade, because brassicas do like a bit of shade, and also it will protect from the cabbage white butterfly, which is a nemesis of ours here in the UK.
And they can, if there's little holes in, so they can get some sunlight.
Yeah, the sunlight will go through, and because it's permeable, the rain will also go through, and it stops the pigeons eating it, so it's a multifunctional thing. It because we're coming up here later on tonight, and right now it is really hot, and neither of us have sun cream on because we're bad. So we're going to go home, we're going to cool off, have a nice drink and get some work done in the garden. And I've got hair in my mouth. Hair in my mouth. And then we will be back later on tonight, and I'll probably do another video, so maybe getting back to more frequent videos. And you can play your friend, yes. So this has been Jazz and Rue, and we are Alternative Smallholding. This is our vegetable growing area, and we have more to show you soon from our garden and from our animals, and also you may even get to see more inside the house and how we're converting that to be more functional to our lifestyle, which is great. So we'll see you soon. Take care, happy gardening, and grow all the things. Bye bye. Grow all the things.